Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly review of my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. Balance on the account is $163,023.62. This is a humongous decrease from last week. Last week it was almost $69,000 and now we're barely at $163. We're literally hanging on by a thread. This past week in the stock market was a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. You're going to see all of the red that happened this past week. I don't even want to show it. It's so bad. But one of the things that's really important for my channel is transparency. I'm always going to be transparent with you all when things are going great, when things are going bad, and I'm always going to be authentic in terms of how I feel about it. And I was really questioning the value of investing this past week because I lost a ton of money, and you'll see. But for everyone who is a regular viewer or have viewed my videos in the past, you will see something brand new on the screen that wasn't there before. I'm not sure if you can spot it. But yes, I've added a new ETF to my portfolio. I added QQQM. My last video, and actually consistently pretty much all of my videos, you all are always telling me you need to get into like a growth ETF, get into a growth ETF. And I know there's a couple of them out there, but after doing my own research, I decided to go with QQQM because it does mirror the NASDAQ 100, which I felt comfortable with. Now, I understand it is 50% tech, so I already knew it was going to be extremely volatile, and I just did not want it ruining my portfolio. I do think long-term, talking 5, 10, 15 years from now, it's going to be a fantastic investment, but just in the short term, it's going to be very volatile. So I just wanted to add it to my portfolio, but I wanted to take it very slow in terms of how I incorporate it in my portfolio. So if you see here, in terms of the allocation, so how I have the allocation, you'll see right now VU is 58.3% of my portfolio, but the goal is to make it 79% of the portfolio. SCHD is currently 41.4% of the portfolio, but the goal is to make it 20% of the portfolio. And then QQQM is 0.2% of the portfolio, and the goal is to make it 1% of the portfolio. You're reading that number right, just 1%. Again, I knew it was going to be extremely volatile, and as we're seeing here, it is. We'll talk through the details more, but I just did not want QQQM to drag down my portfolio significantly in the short term, and then I'm not able to meet some of my investment goals that I have in the short term because it's just so volatile and, it's in the red. So 1% is a good amount for me right now, starting with it. It's safe, and even with the loss on it, it's such a small amount of my portfolio that ultimately it's not going to have any real meaningful impact from that perspective, at least in the short term. I think once I get to my portfolio to maybe 250, then I'll increase the position on the QQQM because then I could maybe stand to take a little bit more of a loss with it because my balance is just higher. But right now, at a balance of 163,000, yes, there's no way I would make QQQM like 5% or 10% or 20% of my portfolio. The goal is 1%, and we're just going to take it one day at a time and see how it goes. But I feel good about it. I've seen all the historical data on it in terms of it like completely outperforming VU and SCHD from a long-term perspective. That's the tricky thing with QQQM. If you look at it from a short-term perspective, it's like a horrible I don't know. It's like a horrible investment. It's so volatile, but I think if you think long term, for sure, again, 5, 10 years, it's like a fantastic investment, and that's how I'm looking at it. So I'm happy to have it as part of my portfolio. It does pay a dividend as well. It's on a quarterly basis, so it's just going to help boost my dividend income that comes in from this portfolio, and yeah. I am happy I have it as part of my investment plan, essentially, right? So, there. All right, let's go ahead and look at the performance of the portfolio for the past week. Please don't laugh out loud too much. It's so ridiculous. Look at this. Just look at this. This past week, the portfolio is down negative $6,199.83. Let that just sink in. $6,199.83. It's such a ridiculous number. Oh my gosh. Or 3.67%. It was down for the past week. If you look at my holdings, VU, oh my gosh, just got demolished. VU was down 4.13% or $4,097.79. SCHD was down 2.99% or $2,085.43. And then my new addition, QQQM, that I added this week or this past week, was down 4.75% or $16.61. So as I was saying before with QQQM, again, long term, it outperforms VU and SCHD, but short term, it's just so much more volatile than them. And you can see here, right? Like SCHD was just down a little under 3%. VU was, 4.13, and then QQQM is 4.75%, right? So the gains on it are significantly more, but then the drops on it are also significantly more. So you have to have the right risk tolerance for it. So yes, I'm going to, again, always be transparent with how I feel about it, but I'm okay holding on to it long term. But yes, it did suck to see such a huge drop after investing in something for the first time. If I just didn't know anything about investing, I would be like, investing is like a bad idea. I just invested into this new ETF and already I'm down 4.75%. All right, let's look at the deposits for the past week. There was actually just one. On September 2nd, I put in $300. And then on September 2nd, later that day, I put in $50 for a total of $350. I got one buy. This is how I got into QQQM. I got one buy, and then it was 1.80 shares that I got. So I was able to get a whole share from that initial investment because the share price, as we see here, was at $193.90. So that is that. And then if we just go back to the portfolio, we can see the recap for the week. So I started the week, as you see here, at $168,873.45. I deposited $350, which you just reviewed, and then the massive loss of $6,199.83 is what brings the balance to $163,023.62. So sad to see this. Let's go ahead and look at the overall holdings. So you see here, overall, the portfolio is up 9.03% or $13,508.17. So barely any gains, in my opinion. For such a larger size portfolio, I would expect significantly more gains than this. But long term, I'm hoping QQQM will help with this, but we'll see. Right now, it's not helping at all. It's actually helping to drag down the portfolio, but let's just see how it performs as I hang on to it week by week. So VU is at 7.84% or $6,917.36. VU, again, really dropped a lot. SCHD is at overall gain $6,607.42 or 10.83%. That's actually not a bad ROI for SCHD, and this is why I love it. I'll forever keep it no matter what. And then QQQM, look at this. It's down 4.75% or $16.61. And again, I'm starting off small with QQQM because I don't want it to be the reason why my portfolio gets dragged down and I don't hit my financial goals. So it's down, but it's only $16. $16 is not going to be the reason why I have a large portfolio or not, right? So just taking my time with it, just given the volatility. All right, and then for the upcoming week, I have $200 in cash set to trade on Monday, and it will all go into QQQM. The way M1 Finance works is that once you add a new position into your portfolio, it does reallocate all future deposits towards it to just start to fund it to get it to the percentage that you ultimately want it in your portfolio, which for me is 1%. So this upcoming week or next week, I will get paid. So it will be a pay week. And that's when I'll be able to throw a bigger deposit into the portfolio. So that deposit actually should bring up QQQM to 1% with some extra left over to maybe get invested into VU. But if all of that money goes into QQQM, I'm fine with it. I don't think it will, but we'll see. And of course, I'll share the details with you. But yeah, that's where we are right now. So happy to have QQQM as part of the family. She's not really shining too bright, right, as her debut for this past week. But again, I'm happy to have her on board, and we will just stay connected with her. We'll watch her, and we'll see how she performs over the next decade. All right, so that is all of the updates for this week, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.